Welcome to a new episode of TTG Conversations 5 Questions video series. I'm Karen Yu, Group Editor of TTG Asia Media. In this episode, we will look at how EventsAir is bringing AI into events management. And taking us through this topic is Renee Elliott, Vice President of Product at EventsAir. Hello, Renee, and welcome back to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I remember AI was part of our conversation when you last joined the 5 Questions series back in March 2025. And I look forward today to learning more about EventsAir AI venture this time around.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on in this space. So yeah, looking forward to getting into it.
Okay, I've got 5 questions, and here's the first. Now, EventsAir recently established a milestone in AI development and deployment in events management. Will you tell us more about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Air Intelligence actually is the platform and the layer that we've recently announced, and it represents a meaningful shift in how event planners can interact with their event management technology. Rather than introducing AI as a standalone feature, we've embedded it as a unified layer across the entire EventsAir platform. And this is about bringing intelligence directly into the planner's everyday workflow. The real shift here is moving planners away from navigating complex systems towards simply asking and acting, and from statically reporting to real-time insights and responses. And today, for us, this comes to life in 3 different capabilities. The first is Content Assistant. This assistant helps our planners create faster on-brand communications. The second is Attendee Assistant, which provides instant answers and guided experiences for our attendees or our customers' attendees. And thirdly, which is coming soon, is our Planner Assistant, which will surface insights and enable our planners to take action within the EventsAir platform. So we're really looking at this ultimately like helping our planners make faster decisions, reduce that manual effort, and operate with more confidence within their event lifecycle.
Will you tell us what motivated EventsAir to create this layer of events of air intelligence?
Yeah, it's a really great question. Our starting point wasn't really about the technology itself. It was actually the reality of what event planners are facing today. In our recent annual survey, we saw that planners are facing increased complexity, that rising attendee expectations and leaner teams, which is putting pressure on our planners more than ever before. So the question that we focused on is simple, and that is, where can AI genuinely make a planner's job easier? 2 big opportunities around that drove our development. The first one is productivity. And so reducing admin work, surfacing answers instantly, and helping planners execute tasks more efficiently. And then secondly is the personalization at scale, delivering tailored attendee experiences that simply aren't possible to do on that kind of manual aspect. Our approach with this was grounded in kind of 3 core principles per se. One is we want to be and will always be human first. So that means that our AI will support our planners rather than replacing them. And we're committed to being a trustworthy platform with a really strong focus on data security and transparency. And we're being really practical about that. We're focusing on real use cases, not kind of hype things that we think might sound good. I think this really sets us apart, that many vendors are still kind of feature-led through AI and bolting it on in different places. And we're really taking that kind of platform level approach with being AI embedded across the full event lifecycle.
Now, Renee, I really like your point about how AI can coexist with the presence of human hands, but we'll talk about that later, because now I want to find out a bit more about the impact on event attendee experience, and you briefly mentioned that in the new features of Air Intelligence. So tell us more about the impact on events attendees.
The attendee experience. And we sort of see this as whether your event has 5 attendees or 5,000 attendees, Air Intelligence allows our planners to deliver a far more personalised and responsive attendee experience. So without doing or adding more pressure to the teams that exist today. So we're talking about things like curated agendas and relevant session and sponsor recommendations and smarter networking suggestions for connections. From an attendee's perspective, they will get instant answers without having to wait on staff, or more relevant experiences through the entire event journey. It also significantly reduces that friction. So I've got less confusion, sort of less searching of where do I go and who do I meet, and more meaningful engagement. And that's really what it comes down to, is making that experience feel seamless and also hyper personal for each attendee, regardless of what the event size is.
Now let's talk about the human hands now. There's always talk about AI replacing people. Will the creation of air intelligence make other non-AI event tools redundant? And how would that impact certain roles in event management?
It's really such an important topical question at the moment. There's lots of uncertainty, I guess, around AI and what it can do for us, but also, what is it enabling us to do, and the industry moving forward. And it's one that we're really very deliberate about at EventsAir, and our position is really, really clear. We see as that AI is designed to support event professionals using our platform and not replacing them. I think event planning, as we know, I guess, is fundamentally human. It's about, it's built on relationships and creativity and that experience design. And those are all things that AI simply can't replace or replicate. What AI can do really well, however, is take on those repetitive, time-consuming tasks that takes planners away from those higher value activities. AI, in my mind, should give planners more capacity, but not take them out of that process. So rather than making tools or roles obsolete, we see AI really making them more efficient. It frees planners up to focus on those strategic and creative aspects of their role. And that's really powerful when AI is embedded into a platform, an all-in-one platform like EventsAir, rather than kind of sitting disconnected off to the side.
Good point. Okay, so to round off this conversation, can you share with us how air intelligence is already being used in the real-life event example?
Yeah, absolutely. We're already seeing air intelligence being used to make events more responsive in real time. An example of that is our planners are already using Content Assistant to significantly speed up the creation of event communications. Everything from marketing emails to on-site messaging. What used to take hours later, drafting and editing and honing those comms, can now be done in a fraction of the time. And what I really love about it is it stays on brand, using settings that allows our planners to dictate things like tone of voice. At the same time, our attendee assistant is transforming how attendees interact at the event itself, like I mentioned. Instead of searching through agendas or waiting for support staff, attendees can simply ask the questions and receive instant and relevant feedback. And an example of that is a question like, what session is Professor Jones speaking in? And it can tell me, what session it is and what time it's on and what room to find that session in. And it's a completely different experience. But looking ahead, this is where things evolve even further, and we're working towards a future where AI doesn't just assist with tasks and answers questions, but actually helps planners take action. And that's where our planner assistant comes into play. It will surface insights and recommended next steps in the event lifecycle, but eventually, and we're planning to enable our planners to execute actions right within the platform. But of course, all with that full control and oversight and keeping the planner in the loop of those AI-driven kind of functionality. Over time, we see air intelligence really becoming a true co-pilot and working in side by side in existence with our event professionals and helping them to really optimize and improve their events as they unfold.
Yeah. I really like the sound of that, Renee, and I can see that there's hopefully going to give us a more work-life balance as well with the help of AI.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That's all the questions I have for you, Renee.
No problems. Thank you so much again for having me.
Past and future episodes of TTG Conversations 5 Questions can be found on the TTG YouTube channel. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.